Welcome to the WINN Weekender, a comprehensive recap of the major story making the news this past week. I'm your presenter, Andre Huey. Ebola takes center stage this week on the WINN Weekender. WINN TV's Ken Richards gets the views of Caribbean nationals living abroad and their concern about Ebola. And WINN TV's Tony Frederick looks at the travel ban imposed by the St. Kitts Nevis government on 3 Ebola-stricken countries in West Africa. We first begin with that report by Tony Frederick.
With immediate effect, all visitors from Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea will be prohibited from entering the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis until further notice. That announcement was made in a statement from the Office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday night. The statement said that St. Kitts and Nevis had made the decision to put the travel restrictions in place in light of the widespread and intense transmission of the Ebola disease in these countries. The prohibition will also be applied to travellers who have visited the 3 countries in the preceding 21 days before arrival in the Federation. The Ministry of Health will closely monitor the situation in West Africa and other countries and will continue to work closely with regional and international partners to prepare for any potential threat, the statement reads. The Cabinet, it advises, has also requested the activated National Disaster Mitigation Council to coordinate preparedness and response with health officials and to provide Cabinet with updates. St. Kitts and Nevis' Health Minister Marcella Liebert participated in a meeting of OECS Ministers of Health in St. Vincent and the Grenadines Wednesday, which was called to develop a comprehensive strategy to mitigate emerging viral diseases, particularly Ebola and chikungunya. Earlier in the day Wednesday, St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines announced the same restriction on travellers from the 3 Ebola-ravaged countries. On Tuesday, Grenada said it was considering imposing a travel ban on all travellers from West Africa, but no further announcement has yet been made in that regard. The World Health Organization reports that nearly 4,500 people have died from the Ebola virus during the current outbreak, the majority of those in West Africa. There have been 2 diagnosed cases of Ebola that were contracted in the United States and 1 in Spain. All 3 patients are healthcare workers. The WHO's Assistant Director General Bruce Aylward estimates that there could be up to 10,000 new cases a week by year's end if efforts to contain it are not stepped up. On Tuesday, the United Nations warned that the world has less than 60 days to stem the epidemic. It is far ahead of us, it is running faster than us, and it is winning the race, the head of UN's Mission for Ebola Emergency Response, Anthony Branbury, told the Security Council. We either stop Ebola now or we face an entirely unprecedented situation for which we do not have a plan, Mr. Branbury said.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM.
WINN FM's mission is to contribute meaningfully to the information, awareness, and the development of our nation and the region through the building of educated and informed communities. WINN FM faces the issues squarely, without shying away from controversy, while striving continuously to provide balanced, responsible reporting.
Better music, better talk, better radio. 98.9 WINN FM.
Welcome back. As we continue our coverage on Ebola, we present you a report by WINN TV's Ken Richards on Caribbean nationals living in the UK and the US and their concerns about Ebola.
As the global community continues to keep close tabs on the Ebola situation, U.S. health officials are seeking 132 people who flew on a plane with a Texas nurse on the day before she came down with symptoms of Ebola. The nurse, the second person to catch Ebola in the U.S., became ill on Tuesday. Both she and nurse Nina Pham, 26, had treated Liberian Thomas Eric Duncan, who died on October 8 in Dallas. So far, there has been just 1 imported case of Ebola in Britain. Experts studying the virus believe it is very unlikely that the disease will spread within the UK. However, some West Indians in London's East End see the situation differently and are admitting that they are frightened. One young Haitian man from the Barking, Dagenham area told WINN FM why.
Well, I'm afraid because, at first they told us that it was not in the UK, so everybody will just keep on living their life like it's normal. I go to work every day from East London to Central London. I'm on the train with the people, crowd up together, and we're just touching each other, and we don't know who might have what. I'm worried too because the government's lying to us, because now we're hearing it's in Dagenham. That's 5 minutes away from us. You come from another country and they just give you a test to fill up, a questionnaire. Anybody can lie in a questionnaire and say, I don't have nothing just to get in the country.
Do you get a sense among the Haitian community in England that most people feel like you, that they're frightened?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do. It's not just me. It's even in my family, because what we reading online and what we research, he came from Africa. And we know that them people, when it comes to eating, they will eat anything, such as bushmeat.
A young Caribbean woman and her two brothers also expressed fears about the situation in London.
First we heard that a man walked into a Royal Free Hospital and said that he had it. Then they're saying that it's not true, he doesn't have it.
What would you like to see the British government doing in terms of dealing with the disease?
Get a better screening test, and second of all, start getting the hospitals ready to handle the certain situation of people who catch Ebola, right?
I am scared because I'm a diabetic and I'm prone to catching the flu. My son is in school with over 200 children. A lot of them are Africans. They go on holiday, they come back. They're, some of the meat and stuff we eat here, we're not sure what it is. I buy African food. Now I'm seeing that they eat a lot of bushmeat and they put the bushmeat in the food. So I don't know if I've eaten monkey. I don't even know if I've eaten the strain. My son's teacher just came back from Nigeria. It takes 3 weeks to show up in your body, and she's back dealing with the kids. They said they're screening them, but when they screen the people, they're just checking your temperature and they're asking you if you feel ill. And it's obvious, if I've got Ebola and you're going to put me in quarantine and I'm scared, I might not say that, yes, I do feel ill.
One guy that came from, I think, Liberia, he came here and then he said at the airport they was even shaking his hand, and it's a questionnaire. He said they're not equipped at all, because he said he come from Liberia, where obviously it's on a high level there. And he said when they come to London, they even shaking their hand after the questionnaire, like they have no clue, they have no idea how to deal with it. And they say London hospitals is not equipped, because I read in the Evening Standard today that they're saying London hospitals is not equipped to deal with the Ebola.
I'm not discriminating against anyone. I'm just staying away from people who might have traveled and come back because they're not sure if they have it, and I won't know until 3 weeks later.
Do those in the United States feel the same way? It's a question WINN FM put to U.S.-based Grenadian Ambassador Dennis Antwine.
Well, I wouldn't say panic, but they are very much on guard. I think, as you know, West Indians, Caribbean people are very health conscious, and the whole context of the Ebola creates an anxiety level which makes us look around us. And so it is a sense of precaution going on. There is a dialogue happening. And as we have been engaged, for example, at the United Nations with the non-communicable diseases, now we are faced with, at the United Nations, the threat. And it's a security threat of Ebola. And so there is no less anxiety that is in the Caribbean as is in Africa. So to say that they're panicking is not true, but to say that they are what is called consciousness, yes.
Ian Edwards is a Jamaican who is active in the Caribbean community in the U.S.
The West Indians here that I have seen and talked to, they're not any different in their approach from the regular, normal American. People are being cautious, but, people are going about their business. And again, because we're entering the fall, where the cold and the flu season, usually people I think there's a determination to be more aggressive in terms of washing hands, using hand sanitizers and gloves when feasible, to reduce any transmission. But Ebola, I wouldn't say there is panic.
Health experts trying to allay fears are explaining that people who are not showing symptoms of Ebola are not contagious. And we've just learned that St. Lucian Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony has slapped a ban on travelers from the 3 West African countries affected by Ebola: Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea.
This has been the WINN Weekender. On behalf of the WINN TV News team, I'm Andre Huey. Thank you for watching.